once.
Life is fragile. You
Very
only live
fragile.
once. Stop playing with your life.
Hmm.
Life is what you make it. So for most persons, they'll say, "Oh, why this happened to me? All of this happened to me." Change your life. Life is what you make it.
Welcome to the new revolution.
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 Revolution. Revolution.
Podcast.
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 Podcast. That time.
Go and check it out.
Welcome to the New Revolution podcast. My name is Carlington Barrett.
And I am Zane Edram.
And welcome to episode 7. Glad to see you guys back again. We appreciate each and every viewer. Right away, just want you to go ahead and like the video. If you haven't subscribed as yet, go ahead and subscribe. And how you doing today, man?
My day is good. Had a fair day. My day actually started off with me reading a book, get some wisdom in and all that jazz, and then went on to make some decent lunch and breakfast.
I see.
Yeah, it was a good vibe. It was a good vibe.
I see.
How about you, man?
Slept most of the day.
Mm.
Got off to a slow day, but I'm a night person, so
Mm.
it's my time of the evening. So you guys can go ahead and follow us on social media, Carlington_official.
And y'all can actually follow me on IG, just the same at I am underscore Zane168. Yeah, you'll find me there. Pretty
Alright,
much.
wonderful. So judging by, I guess you guys seeing the topic already, definitely we'll be looking into, the importance of mental health. Why is it important? We know everybody goes through mental health, and for some people we keep it quiet until it tears us apart. Some people it definitely goes the wrong way, and they end up taking their own life, or die from depression. And I saw an article the other day which shows that this generation basically takes a lot of depression medication and stuff like that.
Wow.
So
Well, well, I mean, yes, indeed, it's 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 um it's a topic that society doesn't like talking about it for the most part, and mental health is real, and more so in a time like this, that we're living in right now, a global pandemic. It's COVID-19 has been pulling people, left, right, and center in their headspace. Not even to mention students as well. Understand? CEOs of businesses, celebrities, kids. It's eating everybody. Athletes as well. So mental health is really something to be reckoned with.
I see. And even just to go back to like a few sporting events, the tennis open the other day. I
Mm-hmm.
see one of the upcoming young tennis player,
Mm.
female player, basically skipped an interview in which she got fined for, and you know only to find out that she was going through some mental issues, and that was the reason why she basically has like a phobia for interviews and stuff.
Okay. Okay. And as you mentioned actually about sports and athletes as well, I had even first-hand experiences where, you know, back in the day, I think about a year and a half ago, I was actually covering some sports events, and wherein you have a lot of national representatives, right? And I think from the different sporting disciplines, be it netball, be it squash, etc. And I can recall watching those students. Most of them are student athletes for the most part, and watching majority of those students in competition mode mentally. In most cases they're not there, you know, and it was really a daunting thing to see. Coaches were there trying to encourage the athlete to really, stay focused, stay in the game, but mentally, the athletes weren't mentally prepared and ready to actually go in um, the tournament. So
Mm.
that absolutely is one of the major factors affecting our athletes,
Mm.
more so student athletes as well.
Same for the Olympic gymnastic
Mm,
girl from USA as well. She was also experiencing, mental health issues in which she didn't want to participate. She ended up took a break.
mm,
You know, there was a lot of comments on social media saying that she wasn't a true American because she
mm,
pulled out of the Olympics. But she did overcome it and she came back and won a bronze medal in the gymnastics, so that was
mm,
also good. But we all go through it. Me, you, everybody.
mm-hmm,
Personally, I have my share of experiences with mental stuff like that.
mm-hmm,
Even recently, lost one of our dear friends, and it
mm,
really took a severe toll on us. And even to this day, each time I gaze, like I just
mm,
get a moment and I gaze out in space, it just comes right back. So, that kind of plays a slight part in, my happiness and stuff like that.
mm,
And, losing someone, because this has been a rough year for me. I lost a lot of
mm-hmm,
close family members this year and stuff like that. So, you know, it's really good that, I was able to overcome certain things back then to be in the mind state that
mm,
I am in right now
right,
to be very strong. So definitely can, see where it's going and where it's coming from and stuff like that.
right. I mean, it's been a tough year. 2021, 2020 been a really tough year. Um, my personal experiences combating mental health, just to say, um, it's as if sometimes people expect you to be some form of superhuman, you know. Don't believe that, hey, because you portray that you're probably always on the move, on the go, you don't really experience certain things. And the truth, and in fact, we all have our demons to fight, we all have our demons to face, and it's just the reality of it. And it comes down to really paying attention, to your
Mm.
mental, physical, and even your spiritual health as well. Understand? So it's a whole topic of its own. And you know, even even before we came on set, right? The producer actually showed us a video with uh, a woman, right, recorded herself um, hanging, right, and there was a baby there. You
Mm.
heard the lady saying help, help, while she was dying, and then you heard the baby screaming. So you just can imagine that child now will have to live with that memory, if or based on what age that child is. Understand? So, and that's really a hard pill to swallow. Just imagine, you just take your life just like that. Understand? We don't know what that person was going through. We don't know, we don't understand that person's journey. So, mental health, it's troubling. It's very troubling. See, celebrities just the same. We all know one major person, um, Kanye West, yes, was somebody that was battling with mental health issues and amongst others just the same, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So it happens to everybody, and it just takes a level of courage to talk about it, to tell somebody how you're actually feeling, and the whole lyrics.
Mm-hmm. And even in the whole music industry as well,
Mm-hmm.
if you can remember Lincoln Park,
Mm-hmm.
Chester Bignam, who committed suicide as well.
Mm-hmm.
His wife said that, days before he even committed suicide, it looks totally normal. Everything was okay. He was smiling, taking photos, smiling. So they weren't expecting that of any sort. And
Mm-hmm.
in most cases, that's the situation because sometimes you see people and you don't know exactly what's going on. They always
Mm-hmm.
keep a smile to try and cover up what's going inside and stuff like that. I always see people post like on Snapchat saying, at least I don't look like what I'm going through and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So, I personally have friends who go through, depression, stress and stuff like that. I try my best to see where I can chip in and offer some form of
Mm-hmm.
comfort or guidance in regards to that. And, sometimes it gets, very, really consistent.
Yeah.
But you just have to keep going, because you never know what could happen next in regards to that person. So that one time you might, say, yo, traumatized, minute may have to talk to you over about the same thing. The one moment you might skip that could be the end for that person. So,
Mm-hmm.
I always make it my duty to always reach out and check up on close friends and stuff like that. Or anybody that I see who is in need of, just some form of therapeutic talking or anything like that. If you go on my Facebook, you'll always see me saying, if there's anybody going through anything,
Mm-hmm.
hit me up, let's talk about it and stuff like that. But for me personally, in terms of depression, stress, and all of that, sometimes I just feel like, on my perspective, it's like you just need to have a discussion. You just really need to talk about it
Mm-hmm.
and see how you can get solutions to overcome these things. Mhm.
Right. Absolutely. And not everybody is always sometimes open to really have those discussions as well. That's something because I mean it even starts from in the home for most part. You have let's talk about it, a Jamaican home for example. You know, as as a student teacher relatively, we learn about the different issues that children may face in the home, and as well you would have experienced in most cases that teachers on a whole sometimes have to be parents or an additional assistance in parenting to a child, right? Why? Because the whole, so you can't say certain things to your family member without them lashing at you, or they not giving and listening ear. You understand? As a child, or let's say for example, a young female, age of 12, 13, were about, got molested and want to tell her mom, and just because of probably how aggressive her mom is, um, she end up kept it a secret.
Mhm.
Understand? And that foster up, and you never know, that started to literally um spiral into a downward trajectory for that child. Yes. So it starts in the family as well, in the home, in the household, parenting again. It's just so much that really, really, really direct actually goes back to parenting. Parenting is absolutely critical.
And even in other cases where, single moms
Mm-hmm.
raising their child,
Mm-hmm.
even I see this every Father's Day, like, mom saying, I'm the father, you can't replace a father.
Mm-hmm.
Father's role is very, very vital in terms of discipline and stuff like that. Because
Mm-hmm.
each child look at their father on a whole different level than how you would, basically view your mom
Mm-hmm.
and stuff like that. So, that could add to, depression. Because for most cases, everybody I know goes through depression. They say something like, them father never did it for me, and
Mm-hmm.
them turn to this and that and stuff like that. So, um, parenting does play a major part as well. For us, for us personally, we would endure the stress of going to college,
Mm-hmm.
academics and all of that, and we're student athletes, so we play basketball as well, and that comes with both mental and physical stress. For anyone who comes to GC Foster or ever played for the GC Foster team, you know
Mm-hmm.
how one of our particular coaches are, I won't call any names, but once that man coach you, you will endure some form of mental stress.
Mm-hmm.
And at the time, I wasn't really looking at it like how I would look at it now, because back then I was like, yo, this man really kill it
Mm-hmm.
and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But now that I've matured and I've looked on it on a different level, what I've been through in that training, basically prepared me to be more stronger mentally and physically. It was just at the moment, it was very, very hard, and couldn't comprehend why we have to do all of this and all of that. So,
It's killer. It's absolutely killer. I can remember we actually. How tall was that hill? It was about what, 900,
it's
900
about
feet up
about 1800 feet.
or more.
Yeah, it's a
Uh,
particular, for those who live in Portmore, I'm not sure where in Portmore that hill is, but it's
mm,
a very prominent hill where people go to work out. Because I remember when we went up there was like aerobics classes keeping up. There
mm,
was a guy up there with speakers
yeah.
working out people. So I guess Portmore residents would pretty much know where that is. And
Mm,
you can leave a comment, if there's a particular name for that hill or where it's located, you can leave it in the comments. But that hill really put us to the test mentally.
mm-hmm.
Um,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely. And again, being in college is an next thing. Mentally you have to be strong, right? A lot of people think that, hey, sending your kids to college, it's just about the academics. It's really more than that. Understand? They have to deal with a lot of different scenarios, right? You have to deal with different type of people, lecturers, try to maintain the grades, try to get involved, try to network, try to build a foundation. There's just so many things to really to deal with. You understand? And imagine even being in college and constantly experiencing negative situations, backbiting from people. Because I mean, these things do happen. You
Mm,
understand? And personally, I can even start from my experience. um I had a whole semester that I flunked, right? And I flunked that semester not because I was challenged academically,
mm,
right? Was the fact that I wasn't okay. You understand? I was really going through it. It was a really rough year for me, just the same. I never wanted to actually continue the program, right? And I went as far as, yeah, talking to the VP, letting the VP know that, hey, I'm not in the mental space right now to continue this program, but I can't stop school, right? Because at the time, um, I was now the student union president of the college, and I was now the Janeway ambassador for the school as well. So I had roles to fill in, right, amongst other stuff, and I really never wanted to give up, but I tried my best to let them know that, hey, mentally I'm not there, right? I'm not there. Though I try to show up, right? Try to show up as best as I can, and I was just not there. Till a point where, you know, I literally never wanted to do any exams. Right? I went into the exams very casual, casual. And even one of the lecturers told me that, what I wrote on the paper was I took a casual approach because I was just not in the mental space to really want to continue that year. I wanted to change the program. So I really had my first hand experiences. And yes, I actually resit those courses and pass all of them successfully. And just to even elaborate a little bit. When I went back, like for example, I wanted a scholarship, right? And I went to the VP had moved on, so we had a new VP, and I went there to get a academic report, right? Because I was trying to apply for a scholarship, and the lady, she saw my transcript, she saw that, hey, year one, year two, my grades was good, right? A's, B's, fine, fantastic, GPA, okay. But that one semester, and you there trying to explain, saying I was just not, having a good time. I was going through something mentally. At the same time, it's like nobody really cares. You understand? It's your journey. Yo, figure this out. What you gonna do? Right? You're planning to stay an extra year here. That's one of the questions. Things like that. So it's not really helping you to find a real solution or making the situation any better, but it's more of trying to, make matters seem a little bit more overbearing than it was. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I could definitely understand, as college student, we have our fair share of, all of that. And you won't expect like the upper edge, because, the Jamaican culture,
Mm-hmm.
have to tough it out and
Mm-hmm.
don't stop and stuff like that. But even, not just school, workplace as well. If you
Mm-hmm.
work in a call center, you would, what stress and depression is. Like
Mm-hmm.
90% of people who I
Call
know
center.
work in a call center is
Mm-hmm. Very,
depressed, very depressed, stressed
very,
out.
very, very depressed.
So, and there's nothing that they can really do about it.
Mm-hmm.
Even in the whole interview process, they ask you, oh, well, can you manage stress? Or if you're in a particular situation, how would you handle it?
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, you have to tell them that, hey, you squeeze on one,
Mm-hmm.
some form of thing that you could squeeze. I won't say ball,
Mm-hmm.
but you know,
Yeah.
but in the call center, it's very stressful to work in that environment because you're constantly taking back-to-back calls.
Mm-hmm.
Customers cussing you out
Mm-hmm.
left, right, and center, back to back to back. So imagine going through that 5 days a week,
Mm-hmm.
20,
And
8 hours a day, months, possibly years. I don't really know how
Mm-hmm.
people do 20 plus years in that industry.
Right. And to even and thinking about it now, I've never I've spent some time in the industry. I think roughly what 3 consecutive years. Tried it again.
Mhm.
I think a year ago, and it didn't work out. I felt my mental health being affected, right? And I think we were actually working for the same company but different location. And I
Mhm.
was there, doing a summer job, and I'm on the call, folks. I'm on the call. I can't. There's nothing else I can actually do for these customers. These customers are literally calling you. I won't call the company's name though, but these customers are literally calling you, cussing you out down to the T. You understand? Giving it to you like, hey, it's you, and to literally, sit down and see that on a daily basis. I mean, yes, you sign up for that job for sure, but hey, you know, it's not like the job itself have sessions where you get people empowered. Probably the only empowerment people really get there
So
is the
money.
money,
Mhm.
you know. So it all comes down to that again. Um, there's nobody really there looking out for the best interest of our people. And then just thinking about that now, you can actually see where why there is a um in the cause in the BPO industry, this minute you may have a high rise of employees, and then boom, it's just this is it, up and down. This minute you recruit 100 odd people, 3 months down the line, you probably have about 30 staff members left. And understand you have to constantly be and it doesn't seem to me as if you're coming up with a solution. Understand?
Because it's corporate. If you
Mm.
look at a call center industry based on how everything is structured, it's definitely a corporate
Mm.
company, and doesn't look well. So I guess if
Mm-hmm.
if if they if they spend so much in recruiting
Mm.
each year, my thing is, why not just build an environment for your employees where they will stay.
Mm.
Because there are call centers out there, some call centers that perform in that manner. For like Vistaprint, for example, in
Mm.
Montego Bay, rarely see people resign from that
Mm-hmm.
um, company.
Right.
You have any idea why they would?
Well, other than the money,
Mm,
I think the environment is conducive for work because I've passed by several times and I see, people interacting. The whole environment, the location itself speaks for itself just the same. Environment seems cozy, lawn, gazebos
I would
and all that
never,
jazz.
never ever hear of anyone complaining
Plain,
from
yeah, you
Mr.
never
Print.
hear somebody complaining for Vista Pin. I mean, Vista Pin people them always on time for work,
Yeah,
you know. So
everybody seems to
yeah,
drive. I
everybody
don't.
is good, pretty much good. So hey, they must be doing something over there that the other
in,
call centers are not doing.
in terms of management, I would
Mm,
say they must have some great management
mm,
structure that
right.
employees want to stay and stuff like that.
Mm,
But we all understand the offshore company stuff and how it operates, and as young business
mm,
entrepreneurs, we understand the business model and concept in regards to
mm,
outsourcing companies for at a lesser price than you would in your own country. So
mm,
we can definitely understand that.
right.
But you got to put in place that you got to really think about it, that you have hundreds of employees who mentally they
Mm,
don't really want to work here, they're just doing it for the money.
mm,
And people have to survive, and
right.
they're not going to leave that company because that's what put foods on the table and stuff like that.
Mm,
So they rather risk their own mental health and you know stay in a toxic environment like that, and it end up might turn out bad for them. So
mm,
it's a lot of things to really look into. And
mm,
even relationship wise as well, some people are not happy in their relationship as well, which the boy they has stressed me, the girl they has stressed me.
mm,
Toxic relationships, and
mm,
my Facebook viewers would say, but you're toxic, you're always posting toxic stuff and all of that.
mm,
But it's just for me. I'm a guy who likes to post memes. I don't necessarily take these things
mm,
seriously.
right.
That is my outlet for entertainment. I like to share a lot of memes. But looking on what worked for me, definitely would say music.
Mm,
You know me well. I consume music like 24/7. So
mm,
it's a reason why because that is what I channel my energy through. I'll go on a basketball court as well, play, and once I could be down, like really down. The moment I go and play some pickup ball game, and after that everything just gone. Feel brand new again. Same
mm,
thing with music. So I think, for those who are out there who are going through a lot, you just really need to find that outlet, see
Mm,
what works for you.
true.
I would, you know, this might work for me, but it might not work for you. But I think as Jamaicans and stuff like that, we really sleep on therapy.
Right. Yeah, we don't take therapy like
Yeah,
we look at therapy as
you're
like,
mad.
yeah, you're mad.
Yeah.
If you do therapy, you're mad.
Mm.
Alright, nah, if
Therapy is
people
very,
need
very
therapy,
important,
it
especially in
definitely.
relationships as well.
Exactly. I would
Mm.
encourage anybody to do therapy, young and old, as it even relates to relationship, because these days, these days the value system of people is changed drastically.
Mm-hmm.
As we were expressing on the previous podcast, talking about women becoming masculine women, males these days are more feminine and all of that jazz. And hey, it's really interesting. But on the topic of relationship and therapy, I
Mm-hmm.
mean, a lot of people are actually really, really taking on this toxic relationship on the next level, right? Understanding that, hey, you know, the guy is not for them, you know, and they still push trying to make a toxic relationship work. There's no growth, there's no development, and probably in most cases, or more cases than one, you would basically say probably some of them are in it for money, or some of them
Mm.
in so-called Jamaican terms, um, yamed,
Mm.
yeah. It's just it's weird. And then again, um, on the topic of toxic relationship, this then evolve into death, men killing women
Mm.
altogether, right? And this results from being in a toxic relationship. So, hey, therapy is absolutely needed. I would say get to know somebody, you know.
I think, first session is normally free
Mm,
for therapy. So, you people don't really take it seriously, but,
mm,
you know, I definitely recommend therapy for people and,
right.
because they're the experts, they're the professionals, and,
Mm,
they'll basically try to
mm,
figure out and find solutions, try to
right.
find the root cause of the problem, why you're stressed.
Mm-hmm,
Because for us, I consider myself mentally strong
mm-hmm,
for various reasons. I can identify what is the problem right
mm-hmm,
away and get down to the solution to figure out, all right, so this is the main cause of why
mm-hmm,
I'm feeling this way, or, you know,
mm-hmm,
and I can just say, okay, let me work towards that. For some people, they don't have a grip on that. So that's where therapy would come in place, and
mm-hmm,
you just have to leave it to the professionals. But
right.
this phobia of therapy, people really thinking that it's for crazy people and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
You need to get that narrative out of your head.
True, true, true. I believe so. And how I basically deal with mental health as well. I try my best to stay motivated, and not only stay motivated, stay inspired, right? Stay inspired for a cause. Um, I have goals that I'm trying to accomplish as a person. Um, I have persons that are depending on me just the same. I try to just feed my mind with positivity. Read books about, hey, changing your mindset in a positive light. Of course, primarily, I go to God, right? I try not to stress. I mean, stress does come, right? We're human being, it happens, but understanding that stress can really trigger off your mental health and put you at a bad place. I tend, I try my best to stay away from being stressed out. Understand?
Mm.
So try to read, listen positive interviews, listen audiobooks that will help me to be mentally strong. That's basically how I do it. And
Mm.
being a student leader, a youth leader as well, um, trying to combat or provide solutions for students, just to say, to have a better college life for the most part, being in college, that as well sometimes will play on your mental health, because at the end of the day you have 1,001 students coming to you as an individual for assistance, and
Mm.
sometimes that can really drain you, and I have to try my best to really like replenish, um, and try to be in the moment, be present as well. So those are some of the ways that I deal with mental health. And of course, I take up my phone and I call. Understand? I'll call a friend, I'll call a mentor, because hey, it's real. And I found out that me having dialogues, conversating with people as well, is
Mm.
some form of therapy for me. Yes. So I enjoy talking to people, for the most of it.
I see.
Hmm.
And even in terms of like suicide and stuff like that, it shows, there's actual factual data out there that shows that in regards to genders,
Hmm.
males commit more suicide than women.
Hmm.
And, for that as well, you would look that, say, oh, man supposed to be stronger than woman in
Hmm.
regards to, emotional outcomes and stuff like that. But data shows that that's not the case.
Hmm.
For us as men, we're not really going to show our emotions and
Hmm.
what we are going through or anything like that. So for the males out there, definitely therapy. Yeah, I
Hmm.
won't stop stressing therapy. Honestly,
Hmm.
therapy is very, very, very vital. Very,
Right.
very vital.
And as you touched on men not showing emotion, of course, society says that men are supposed to cry.
Mm,
I don't know where y'all get that from, but I'm a bad. I'm a
mm,
bad. I have to cry. Even this morning, the weirdest experience I had is, my mom shooting me a message after I just finished reading and about to go get some breakfast. Shoot me a message, her grandma not feeling well. Um, grandma is going to the hospital, and how she feels as if, this is my mom now saying that she feels as if she's having COVID symptoms. And knowing me, the last thing I want to know is that something is wrong with my grandma. And I stand and just there and then I started feeling sunk, right? Because I'm here, I'm all the way in Spanish Town, grandma is in Mobi, and to have a family member going to the hospital in a time like this, where
mhm,
you if it's a case where she needs to be admitted by any means, you have to wait on somebody to die to get a bed. That's how bad it is right now. You
mhm,
understand? So that whole scare of not having my grandma or seeing my grandma being in the hospital is just overbearing. Yes. So hey, you just have to just stay prayerful for me. Keep my headspace on things that are of good cheer. That's how I have to operate.
I
So
see.
I absolutely have to operate, man.
Yeah, and I was thinking about possible
Hmm.
solutions to for people who are going through depression, stress, and all of that.
Hmm.
There's always, I think, the Ministry of Health and Wellness. They
Hmm.
have their own unit that handles stuff like that.
Hmm.
You have suicidal thoughts, you can basically call. By the end of the podcast, I'll retrieve that number so we can provide you guys with it. We're gonna also leave a link in the description as well
Hmm.
to so you guys can go on there if you're in need, or if you know anyone that is in need of mental health and stuff like that.
Hmm.
But definitely some of because we do courses like this in in what we do here at GC Foster, and
Mm.
in regards to like reducing stress, physical education is one
Mm.
factor that helps,
Exercise.
exercise and stuff like that. So
Mm.
for most persons who, locked up inside, just going through the motion, being depressed, sometimes you just need to go out,
Mm.
probably
Change the
jog.
environment.
Yeah,
Same.
because, stress and depression leads to hypertension, high blood
Mm.
pressure, and, you know, um, that's one of the main killers in Jamaica,
Mm.
high blood pressure and stuff like that.
Right.
So if you know that you are, you know, you're health wise, you're a bit obese, overweight,
Mm.
and then you have other external factors that is affecting you as
Mm.
well. I would recommend, alongside therapy, you can go to the gym
Mm.
and work out, and trust me, it works. It
Mm.
definitely works. Going to the gym, working out helps with stress.
Mm.
So, that's something that you can look into. So you have therapy, going to the gym. You have any
Um.
solutions?
Mm. Just the minimum of what I do on the regular. Hey, talk to people. Reach out to people. Don't hold in your emotions. Try to express yourself. Try to talk about how you're feeling. Right. That absolutely helps. Yeah. To name a few. I highly recommend that you find somebody that you can confide in, right?
Mm,
You find that person that you can confide in, because hey, even just thinking about it while you were talking, um, living in the Jamaican household
mhm,
is really challenging. You have a lot of I've heard a lot of younger folks talking about their experience in the home,
mm,
dealing with these issues, family issues,
mhm,
parents on them and all of that, and just to know that hey, that plays so much on their mental health. It's really unbecoming. Yes, so I absolutely encourage some of those solutions from my end, because I see where that works, and I've heard it from other persons
mhm.
that experience mental health as well. So yeah, those are some of my um, few sentiments where that is concerned.
Mm, yeah, it's possible. I mentioned don't hold it in, and that's what most people go through. For persons like my friends, for example,
Mm-hmm.
they don't directly tell me that they're
Mm-hmm.
going through this. It shows on their
Mm-hmm.
social media status and stuff like that. You might
Mm-hmm.
see them put up an emoji, crying emoji, frown, something.
Mm-hmm.
And you might not be going through something, but
Mm-hmm.
as friends, you can look to identify that something is wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Just reach out to that person, because as I mentioned earlier, you never know what that
Right.
person is going through.
True. Reach
And
out to the folks.
mm,
Reach out to people, man, because yeah, it's free. You never know. Um, you never know. The strongest people, fight silently.
mm,
You understand? And it's so sad as well that out of the blues, I might just see somebody die. You never know that person was actually experiencing or fighting his demons.
mm,
Yes, and so check in with your folks. If you're leaders, you leaders, CEOs, check in with your employees. Trying to have a listening ear. Don't just be bombarding people in this time with just work and all of that. You know, I mean, yes, we want things to get done and all that, but hey, you know, having people around, ensuring that persons are, you know, having a good mental stability in a time like this is something to really take note of along the way. So reach out to people. Reach out to
mm,
people. I strongly believe in it. Even in relationships, just the same. Sometimes your significant other may not um willingly say certain stuff to you, off the bat, or probably you guys aren't in the same space, so to speak. But check in with your significant other mental health. Ask her, hey, how are you feeling mentally? What's happening in your head. So you can actually strike that conversation where necessary and when necessary. So yeah.
Definitely a lot of factors that
Mm,
plays to that. But as well as being fit, diet as well,
mm,
eat food that basically make you feel better. Because at the end of the day, you just want to tackle emotions and your feelings. So you do things that make you feel better.
mm,
So what I would recommend, as much as you might work a 9 to 5, don't just stay in and don't participate, don't go out with your friends and stuff like that,
mm,
because being healthy and stuff like that, it covers both mental and physical,
mm,
as well as social, um,
socially.
as well. So, it's for me, a couple of years ago, I was very introverted, I never
Mm,
really, go out a lot. I was always by myself and
mm,
stuff like that. And it does play a part in my mental capacity as well,
mm,
tend to just want to stay by myself and just always being in the dark and stuff like that. So um no few years fast forward, I tend to have a more
mm,
extroverted approach. I tend to go more and stuff like that.
mm,
Um, I, do more social activities and stuff like that, and it definitely distracts some of the things because you can't really eliminate stress fully.
mm. Yes, it
As
happens.
we're doing like 10 different things going
Mm,
forward because we're in our peak of our careers at this point. So,
mm,
you can't completely eliminate stress, but there's something that you can do to like reduce it. And the social aspect is definitely a key function. So you work a 9 to 5, definitely go out with your friends. I know
mm-hmm.
it's COVID time right now. You guys got the opportunity the other day to go out and do a little party. But call your brethren them on Zoom, play some techno music, I wanna go and dance, have a little karaoke, go to your friend's house,
If you can.
if you can, and just be happy. At the end of the day, it's happiness that we're trying to achieve, and
Mm-hmm.
these are some of the things. Because, man, I tell you, bro,
Mm. Oh,
it's
and one more
crazy.
thing. One more thing we actually didn't even touch is social media, bro.
Yeah, for
Like
real.
social media is is one of the next contributing factor. I saw an article, I think it was a day ago or so, that social media, the new pandemic. Social media as well plays a lot. Stop. I would say, stop focusing on the comments. Stop. A lot of times, people even start to use other people's life
Mm,
to really judge themselves or be hard on themselves, saying that, oh, you know, John Brown is probably 22 and John Brown have car, house, married, come to me at 25, that type of thing. And those little things really starting to pressure you mentally and make you feel like, feel less of yourself and all of those little things. And then, on and on, this definitely then transpires into affecting your mental health. And in truth and in fact, you can't do nothing about it. And in truth and in fact, you enjoy your journey. Everybody's journey is different. um we all know the story. Some people behind gold spoon in their mouth, layman terms.
hey, it's not even that,
Mm,
because most people that you see on social media,
mm,
it's fake. It's
yeah,
not
all that too.
necessarily real. So
Mm,
sometimes you might see a man posting money and stuff like that. They're in
mm,
cars. It's all fake.
mm,
They're just doing it for the gram. So when
mm,
you take up yourself saying, "Yo, oh my, I need to get to this level," and
Mm.
You know, you're not doing enough, and you just feel as if you know, you're
Mm.
not a part of society, and you
Mm.
start stress out yourself. Say, yo, you should have been like that the Monday. You never know what that man
Mm.
have to do to get to where he is.
Yep, that's right.
Can't follow up social media. It's
Mm.
very fake.
Uh,
I know this for a fact
mm.
that it's fake
Yeah,
in
and
most cases.
funnily, recently, the Olympics and all of that, I was concerned about one particular person, Shakari Richardson. Like, yo, the entire world
Mm.
was at this girl,
Yeah,
you
I would
know.
say she deserved that, bro. Cause
Uh,
tell you what, if I was in her footsteps
mm,
and all of this hype was surrounded, cause before we
mm,
start cloning her and stuff like that,
mm,
all the hype was centered around her.
mm,
She was the favorite, right?
mm,
The race finally comes. Even though you were banned from the Olympics due to the
mm,
whole situation, you had months to prepare
mm,
for that IAAF race, right? So all the hype was on her.
mm,
She was the favorite to win. And she got that opportunity and dead
mm,
last fam. So
yeah.
no, if as I mentioned before, if I was in her footsteps
Mm,
as an athlete, anytime I lose a basketball game, you will never ever see me on Facebook,
mm,
Instagram making
exactly.
comments about so and so. I'll be in the gym the
Gym.
next
Next
day.
day at gym,
She's on
training,
social
working
media
harder, can't
every
even
day,
sleep.
bro.
Yes, this girl on Twitter and doing the most and all that. But I mean,
Mm.
uh instantaneously I was really, really, really thinking about her mentally. I'm like, yo, like this woman is actually trending on Twitter. You know,
Mm.
memes behind memes behind memes behind memes and all of that. And I'm like, okay, you know. So, wow, it was just something to really reckon with. Um, I don't know who is there for her, but all I'm saying, I just hope that somebody's there to really be there for her. Ensure that she's okay,
If I
right?
was
So
if I
that's fine.
was if
That's
I
fine.
was her coach, I would definitely take her phone away if I was
Mm.
her coach,
Oh,
because she's doing the
that's
most
fine.
right now.
Mm.
So
Mm. Yeah, man, it's interesting, very interesting. And I don't remember the other athlete, but there was another athlete that did a live. I think she was I don't remember if she was an hurdler or a 400-meter runner, but there was this athlete. She was light skinned and she went on a live crying, saying that people are just harsh,
mm,
she's doing what she loves, um doing what she loves, which is running, and they're not even talking more of um her talent. You understand? They're just saying bad things about her and all that jazz, and it was really getting to her. And I saw where that young lady ran, won the race, and there wasn't no joy,
mm,
coming from that because social media was really getting at her. The comments. I'm telling you, people, you are running a YouTube page or um you are you'd call it no, a social media icon, right? The comments will mess you up. The comment
mm.
section will mess you up. Sometimes I wonder if people literally just go in a comment section for just cause mischief, bro.
Yeah, this is social media today. I believe that for
Crazy.
those who actually let those things affect them, like
Mm,
comments, are they just got to be more
mm,
tough, because I'm realizing that people are so sensitive these
mm.
days.
I
If you
mean,
say something, it
it
just
happens. It really happens because I mean, if somebody say anything negative to you, off the bat, you may think on it. You understand? It's a natural reflex to really think on it. Yes, you would want to probably not say, oh, you ever in a situation where somebody say, yo, you can't do this, and you live with that thought for a while, or
No.
well, I experienced situation like that before, and I experienced persons said that they're at college, and a lecturer said to them, yo, what you are doing at this course, yeah,
Alright.
and they literally killed that dream entirely,
No, and
and gone to do
that's
something
why I
else.
mentioned that, this society is soft.
Mm,
Because you tell me that, bro, that's motivation for me.
mm,
You will tell me that me no belong here. You will tell me can't win this race.
mm.
Me I go show you so me can win this race.
That's
So
that.
yeah, people comprehend things on another level these days where someone critiques what you're doing
Mm,
and you take it to heart and you end up pull down yourself. You should
mm,
only be rising from criticism at this point.
mm,
So this society shows you that everyone is getting soft. We have something called a cancel culture
mm,
at this point, bro. If you
mm,
say anything about a particular group of people, they
mhm,
can just take you right off of social media. You see that
mm,
baby the other day, the rapper,
mm,
was at a concert. He mentioned something about the LGBTQ
mm,
community and social media on the
mm,
verge of canceling him. Tory Lanez
mm,
had a, it was alleged that he shot Megan the Stallion in the leg, and
mm,
social media again cancelled, tried to cancel it. So
mm,
if you do something in this media world that we live in right now, the cancel culture will definitely be at your neck. If
mm,
tomorrow, we're trying to grow in YouTube right now, but say for example, um, when we actually make it there, you heard that, I murdered someone or something
mm,
like that, or something of deep controversy,
mhm,
they're going to try to cancel me.
mm,
So, I mean, if if you're being critiqued on a level,
mhm,
don't give up. Don't. I always tell people, don't take criticism and tear yourself down. You should only rise from that.
mm,
You know, don't bring yourself down. Prove to that person that you're just a talk.
mm.
You just basically a talk. I'm gonna show you some I can do this.
Yep.
So, that's just the approach. And, I did mention before in regards to, we have a phone number that, persons can call.
Mm,
We'll drop it in the description, but I can just say, it's 920-7924. I'll repeat it again, it's 920-7924. I'll drop all the information down below.
mm,
So, if you're going through anything deep, you feel like you want to leave this earth, come on, bro. You only live once.
yep.
You only live once. Lost a dear friend the other day, and sometimes I see people kill themselves. I'm like, yo, just give me that life so I can bring back my friend who really needed it. Because
Mm,
he was ill. And I was like, yo, people out there taking their own lives and don't appreciate life
mm,
to some people who are sick and who would really need that. So, you know, find someone to talk about this with. If you're going through anything, don't keep it to yourself.
mhm,
Seek therapy, go out there, exercise, be more social. And come on, man, you only live once. I can't stress this no more.
only once.
Life is fragile. You
Very
only live
fragile.
once. Stop playing with your life.
Mhm,
Life is what you make it. So for most persons, they'll say, "Oh, why this happened to me? All of this happened to me." Change your life. Life is what you make it. Don't just sit back and like, yo,
it's not
why all
happening
of
for
this
me.
are happening now go on for me. Figure it out.
Yeah.
Everybody have the same 24 hours. Why this man can be successful and you not successful? Because he
Mhm,
did something constructive with his 24 hours. So
mhm,
you should figure out how to be, constructive with your 24 hours as well.
mhm.
So, as we're boiling down to the end of the podcast, um, for real, don't take life for granted.
Yep.
Have anything else to say
Yep.
before we wrap this up?
Yep. Just to concur, just to say, man, you only live once. Do what you have to do. You know. Yes. sometimes life may become fleeting. It's a part of the process. Enjoy the journey. Understand? One step at a time. It's a ladder. Take small steps. You must reach the top. Understand? So just take your time, baby steps. Do what you have to do. As Carrington said, everybody have their fair share. Everybody have 24 hours. So you utilize your 24-hour. Wake up early. You know, Grind, get things done. Understand? Do what you have to do. Understand? And elevate, grow, become the best version of yourself and keep your headspace positive. Understand? And it's there for you. So go ahead and grab it.
All right. So if you're new to our podcast, welcome to the family. Please, if you haven't liked the videos yet, please go ahead and like the video, share it, and
Yep.
definitely subscribe. Based on
Subscribe.
data, it shows us that half of you guys who are watching the video are not subscribed to the
Hmm.
channel. Please go ahead and subscribe. It's absolutely free. It's your boy Carlington.
And I am Zane. And
This
see you
is
next time.
the New Revolution Podcast. We're out.